been feeding the cows. I don't know if you're like me, but there's a beautiful day out there. The weather's really good. We love our fishing and we have commitments. So we have, whether it's family or it's your job or a business, whatever it might be, the opportunity to go fishing is very limited. And I believe that you need to stack everything in your favour when it comes to going fishing, whether it's using really good gear as far as fishing gear is concerned, or something like what we do is we offer an opportunity for people to actually put a better quality product on the front of their boat, which is a Boomer all-terrain anchor. Now the reason why I went into starting to manufacture and make Boomer all-terrain anchors is because I was very frustrated with the options that people had when it came to anchors. For example, you've got the good old sand anchors, you've got these prong style anchors, you've got the solid prong reef anchors, and you have like a plough style anchor. Most of them do it one job. They're a bit of a, if you want to call it a one-trick pony. They're either really good in reef or they're really good in sand and mud, but most of them don't actually come across and meet together. There's many different styles of releases that people use on hard surface and stuff like that. People use cable ties and zip ties, which there's a bit of guesswork involved with that. There's also, for example, with a plough style, there's a slide that people have designed, and that works fine. That works fine to pull the anchor out backwards. However, if that anchor gets stuck in hard structure, like so, in a vertical, how can that work? How can that actually work? And if you're in 40 metres of water and you're trying desperately to get your anchor unstuck, all you'll see is a rope in the water. You're just guessing whether you can get your anchor off. So because of all of that frustration, it was about 18 to 20 years ago that I started on, I suppose, a journey to try and discover a way to improve anchoring performance and safety. Now, my name's Duncan Webster and I'm the director of Boomer All-Terrain Anchors, and basically this anchor has come about through, I believe, trying desperately to improve performance and safety on the water. I'd like to think that it's a new concept in the fishing performance and safety. What else can I tell you about it? Like, I suppose what I can say is this, that there are other options out there. There's bow mount electrics, for example. They're a wonderful idea and they do work. However, they come at a cost. And for example, an anchor is a mandatory piece of safety equipment that you need on a boat anyway. So even if you did have a bow mount device in front of your boat, you would still need some good performing all-purpose anchor as a backup anyway. And that's where Boomer Anchor comes into it also. Right, but what I'll show you is basically why this anchor works so well and why it is so safe. It's obviously a very aggressive anchor. It will work in reef, holes in reef beautifully. If it does, if you have that transitional period where you're going from sand to reef, basically this anchor, what it's done, it's got a patented design feature for these prongs. It will rotate around, naturally rotate around and almost virtually screw down into the sand, and that's why it holds so well in sand also. The other great feature of it is, if you get really soft conditions like mud or soft sand, you can basically do a bit of a trick where you transform the anchor out into what we call the softer conditions for sand and mud. Okay. Now the beauty of this anchor is the safety feature, and that's something that's why we have hundreds and hundreds of reviews that have come back from people. We've only been going a couple of years. This anchor is virtually new in the marketplace. We've had so many reviews coming back from people who are very happy with the product. Okay, and the reason being is the safety factor. The whole anchor is held together with a patented shear pin design, all right? And so that anchor will hold. It's designed, we have 3 different size pins that you can put in. You don't need tools or anything like that to make this anchor work, right? But basically it has been designed, we've done factory testing to prove that this anchor will hold boats from 3 meters, which would be 12 feet, roughly 12 feet long, up to 9 meter boats, which is roughly 30 foot long. That one anchor will perform in all surfaces for fishing for those size boats. All you do is basically, it has a sacrificial pin that holds the boat safely, but if it does get stuck, you drive forward, put pressure, the same as you would with, for example, one of these prong style anchors. You drive forward until you break the pin, it collapses, and then there's virtually nothing for this anchor to get stuck on when you get it back. That's why we say it's virtually impossible to lose a boomer all-terrain anchor. Now, if you have a bigger boat, you use a bigger pin. Smaller boat, smaller pin. So therefore, there's the safety side of things. It's not going to pull the front of your boat off. You can shape the anchor and design it exactly for your boat. Okay? Now, you might say price. You know, how much is it? What I will say is this, that it's 1/10 to 1/20th of the price of all of the bow mount electric motors that you put on, with all the changes in the batteries, all that sort of thing. Plus, it doesn't have a use by date. This anchor will outlast you and your boat, and you'll probably pass it on to your children or your grandchildren. It's 316 stainless steel, electropolished. The casting is investment cast moulding, which is, they use that on surgical instruments. We wanted to make sure that what you get is the best quality product on the marketplace. Now, the other one would be, we are sending this anchor all over the world. So the best thing to do to find out your price for your country is to go onto the website, check it out. And as far as, I think the other thing I was thinking is, I think there's a stainless steel anchor, for example, that you can check out the price of. The same size as this, a well-known stainless steel plough anchor that's on the marketplace, and this anchor is less than half the price of that anchor, and it has way more features. It has, you know, look at this as though it's an investment for yourself, right? In your fishing opportunity. So I suppose what I'd like to say is this, that I know I'm biased, but it's a no-brainer to have a boomer anchor on the front of your boat for fishing, right? Because like a boomerang, it always comes back.